9th standard NCERT syllabus. Hope you all are fine and studying well at home, right? In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the various connective tissues. Let's recall it. We have studied about blood, bones, cartilage, ligament, tendon, areolar connective tissue, adipose connective tissue, right? So these all are different connective tissues. If we quickly revise all these tissues, then we can say that blood is having the liquid matrix, okay, known as plasma, and in that RBCs, WBCs and platelets were present. The function of blood is to transport food, waste material, gases and hormones. Then we studied about bones. Bones are nothing but the connective tissue which forms the frame of our body. If we remove the bones from our muscles, okay, then muscle is nothing but a heap. Okay, so bones are very important for our body to be upright, right? And the bones makes the framework of our body, right? Okay, then we studied about the ligament. Ligament is nothing but a connective tissue which connects bone with other bone. And tendon is another type of connective tissue which connects the bone with muscle, right? Okay. Then we studied about cartilage. Cartilage is nothing but present in ear, nose, etc. And it smoothens the surface of bones near joints, right? Then we have studied about the areolar connective tissue. It is generally present around the blood vessels in the bone marrow, and the function of it is it provides support to internal organs and it also repair the worn out tissues. The last connective tissue which we have studied was adipose connective tissue. Generally fat globules are stored in the adipose connective tissue, and this tissue acts as an insulator in our body. So this is all about what we have learned in the previous lecture. Now today let's start the next tissue in any animal, that is a muscular tissue or a muscle tissue. We know that in our body there are so many muscles and each muscle help us to move. Means we can say that the muscular tissues help in the movement of the body. Muscular tissues are generally made up of protein. The name of the protein is contractile protein. Contractile protein helps in the body movement by rhythmic contraction and relaxation, right? So muscular tissue will help in body movement by contraction and relaxation. So we can say that there are three types of muscular tissue: striated muscular tissue, unstriated muscular tissue and cardiac muscular tissue, right? So let's see one by one. First, striated muscular tissue. Striated muscular tissues are generally present in the voluntary muscles. Voluntary muscles means the muscles which can be controlled by us. Means the muscles movement is controlled by us. If I want to keep my hand straight, okay, then I can do it. So this can be done by my will. So these type of muscles are known as voluntary muscles also, right? They show alternate dark and light bands. Whenever we see the diagram of this striated muscular tissue, they show the light and dark color bands alternatively. As these bands are known as striations, this muscular tissue is known as striated muscular tissue, as there are dark and light striations present in this type of tissue, right? So the cells of this muscular tissues are long, cylindrical, unbranched and multinucleate. Long, cylindrical means in the shape of cylinder. Unbranched means there are no branches in the cells of this tissue. And the most important is they are multinucleate. Multi means many and nucleate means nucleus. So in this type of cells, there are so many nucleus present in one cell, right? So we can say they are long, cylindrical, unbranched and multinucleate. As they join the muscles to the bones and help in the movement of our body, these tissues are also known as skeletal muscular tissue or skeletal muscles. Okay, so these striated muscles are also known as voluntary muscles and they are also known as skeletal muscles, right? The function of this striated muscular tissue is, as I told you before, in the body movement, right? Okay. Now second is unstriated muscular tissue. So now you may get the idea why it is unstriated. Yes, you are right. It is known as unstriated because, like striated muscular tissue, when we see the diagram of it, we cannot see the alternate dark and light colored band in this type of tissues, right? The cells of unstriated muscular tissues are long, spindle shaped. Spindle shaped means it is narrow from the end and swollen from the middle. That is spindle shape. They have pointed ends, right? And uninucleate. Uni means single and nucleate means nucleus. So the cells of this type of tissues are having only one nucleus in the cell. So this we can say the difference between striated and unstriated muscular tissue. What is the function of it? The function of unstriated muscles are, they help in the involuntary movements of our body. Involuntary movements means as the food is passing in the alimentary canal. So that is an involuntary movement, means we cannot stop or start this movement by our will, right? When I eat the food, that I can do by myself. But digestion of food or the movement of food in the whole alimentary canal cannot be done by me. Okay, it cannot be stopped or started by myself. So these type of movements are known as involuntary movements, right? So they are also known as involuntary muscles. Their another name is smooth muscles also. So here we can see that striated muscles are also known as voluntary muscles and skeletal muscles. Same as unstriated muscles are also known as involuntary muscles and smooth muscles, right? Now let's move towards the third muscular tissue, that is cardiac muscular tissue. Cardiac muscles are nothing but the muscles which are present in our heart. Okay, that's why the doctors who are dealing with heart, okay, they are known as cardiologists, right? So the muscles or muscular tissue which are present in our heart are known as cardiac muscular tissue or cardiac muscles, right? The cells of these muscles are cylindrical, branched and uninucleate, right? So here the muscular cells of heart are having branches, right? They are having branches. And it is uninucleate, means the cells have only a single nucleus. Okay, and what is the function of this cardiac muscular tissue? The rhythmic contraction and relaxation of heart, right? We know that our heart continue beating till our death, right? So the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart is done by cardiac muscular tissue. It occurs throughout our whole life. So this is all about the different muscular tissue, that is striated muscular tissue, unstriated muscular tissue and cardiac muscular tissue. Now let's move towards our last topic of this chapter, that is nervous tissue. Nervous tissue are generally present in our whole body. Okay, they are specially present in our brain, spinal cord and nerves. If you know, then our nervous system is made up of mainly these three things, that is brain, spinal cord and nerves. So this nervous tissue is present in all these three, right? Okay. Then this nervous tissue help in the transferring of signal from one part of our body to the other, that is to the brain or spinal cord, and from brain and spinal cord the reply will be transferred to the our body part. Say for example, by mistake you touch any hot object. Okay, so the skin of our hand will give the message to our nerves, okay, to our nervous tissue, that I have touched the hot object, and this message is passed to our spinal cord. Spinal cord will give reply to us that take your hand back. Okay, so this is done by our nervous tissue, right? Okay, now let's see the diagram of nervous tissue. The nervous tissue is generally consists of a cell body, a nucleus, so many small branch-like structure known as dendrites, and a long branch-like structure known as axon. So let's see. This is the cell body. Okay. In the center you can see this is the nucleus, and there are so many branches, okay, that you can see short branches which are known as dendrites, and a nervous tissue has a long branch known as axon. At the end of nervous tissue there is a nerve ending. So whenever the information comes, it comes in the form of electrical signal. Okay, so this electrical signal, which is known as impulse, okay, this impulse are received by dendrites, then it transferred to the cell body and to the axon, and then it will reach to the nerve ending. From the nerve ending, it will again pass to another neuron, right? In detail, this transfer of nerve impulse you will study in the higher classes, that is in 10th standard, right? So our nervous tissue will transfer the message from one part of the body to the other part. The nerve will transfer the impulse from our body parts to other body parts, and by that transfer we can easily move our body parts, right? So generally the combination of these two, that is muscles and the nervous tissue, all the animals can move easily. So this is all about the chapter tissues. In the next lecture we are going to study about the last chapter of our book. Okay? Till that, be at home, be safe. Thank you.
आभार।